So nerves when it comes to riding, it doesn't even have to be a show day. Even just a lesson or just actually going out for a hack, I feel the same ball of nerves and the tightness in my chest that I felt for the last 3 years. And I don't ever think that goes away. And I think the more you start to analyse that, actually the worse it gets. And the best thing for me in the run up to a show is to just try and ignore that the whole thing is even happening. So prepare as well as you can every single day for something much more longer term, but don't focus on that show day being the pinnacle of something that you can't control. And I like to focus on the things that I can control, which is my training, which is how well I get down the centre line, which is how much I'm smiling at the judge when I get to the bottom. You know, those are the things that I can control, so they're the things I focus on. I focus on how my corners are prepared, how the turns are, even just little things like changing your diagonal. Focus on that. Don't think about how scared you are of getting on, of how tight the horse feels. Just think about doing the next thing. Change something up all of the time. When I'm warming up at a show, I'll change something. Every 7 seconds I count to myself. If I'm really nervous and I feel that tightness in my chest, I'll count to 7, change the rein, count to 7, do a transition, count to 7, drop his neck a bit. You know, just do something to take my mind off being frightened. And actually, it does work, particularly in the show jumping. If it's a busy warm-up, I tend to just stay away until it gets a little less busy around the jumping areas. I don't get in the hustle and bustle of everything because that also hinders my nerves. And if you can get out to a training show or just hire a course of jumps and take a friend with you, don't go on your own. Just go and make it nice and relaxed and try and emulate that competition feeling where you're in the warm-up. And then when you get to the show, just visualise how that felt on that day and don't think about where you are in that moment. As long as you've remembered the course, you are doing exactly the same thing on the show day as you are in training. And I always think as well, this year I've been jumping a bit bigger at home and I bought some blue barrels. They cost me £5 each and they either have to be at 75 centimetres or 105, and I have not jumped a single 75 centimetre fence all year. I've put them up straight away and given myself no option. Like if you're jumping bigger at home, when you get to a show and you're jumping 90, I looked at the fences the other day and I thought, actually, do you know, this is well within our capabilities now. So if you're training ahead of the game, you're always going to feel more comfortable on a show day. Visualisation and making sure that you're focusing on the things that are important and not the things you can't control, that's what's important.